I've actually never spoken on a microphone, and I'm kind of loud by nature, so if I blow your ears out, I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm part of Bitcoin Beauties, but that's not really why I'm in part of Bitcoin. So I wanted to ask you guys a couple questions just to kind of know who you are. So which one of you, or how many of you have Bitcoin? Like, how many of you own Bitcoin? Okay, now, so how many of you have ever given someone Bitcoin to introduce them to Bitcoin? Okay, so a couple less hands. How many of you have ever given your mother Bitcoin? Yes. Okay, I'm glad we have one person in here. Okay, so my point is I've been asked multiple times, why aren't there women involved in Bitcoin? And I would say, fundamentally, that's the reason. You have not given your mother Bitcoin. Okay, so I first got introduced to Bitcoin by Eric Voorhees. I grew up with him. And I was having some payment processing issues by trying to send money to a Ponzi scheme that ended up getting taken down. So I got totally taken in it. I was trying to send money, the money got sent finally, I was having problems sending money, and I texted Eric and I said, there's got to be a better way to send somebody money, you know? And he said, yeah, it's called Bitcoin. So in a matter of moments, he sent me some Bitcoin. And this was early, like May of 2011. And I thought, okay, so I've got these Bitcoin, now what do I do with it? And his explanations were very great, you know, he's a great speaker. If you guys have ever seen him speak or Googled him, he's great. But I still didn't see how it pertained to me. So at the time that he gave me one Bitcoin, it was $16 or something like that. And I remember thinking, okay, cool, I got $16, I'm just going to hold on to it and see what happens. Last May at the San Jose conference, there was if any of you guys were there, the alcohol sponsor was called Neft Vodka. And I think, like many of us, have had brilliant moments at 2 in the morning in a hotel room with a bunch of brilliant people. And I kind of came up with a good question because so many people would ask me, why aren't there more women a part of this economy? Why aren't people actively seeking women to participate in this economy? And I asked the guys that I was in the hotel room with, and they said, what is this? And they said, if we knew, we would have changed it. If we knew how to bring women here, we would change it, right? Because everybody wants women in a room. We bring elegance, ingenuity, and innovation, and, you know, femininity. So with any type of a business that you want to, you know, bring to the floor, you have to answer a question. So my question was, how do you bring women to the floor? And ultimately, I think because most of the people in this room are probably developers or VCs, angels, you know, there's a huge array, but you're within the tech field, right? So I think that the best way to really approach people is approach the people that you love, right? Go home, set up your mother with a Bitcoin wallet. Show her how to use it. Because you know the first thing that she's going to do is go to her book club on Tuesday and tell her friends that she now owns Bitcoin. And instead of it being in the news and, oh, this is dead and that's dead, she's going to go and say, actually, it's not dead, I own some. So just this morning, I set up 3 women with some Bitcoin wallets. We transferred over a little bit of Bitcoin to show them how easy it was. And one of them said, well, I want my mom to own some Bitcoin. I said, well, let's buy your mom some Bitcoin. So we got her set some with some Bitcoin, and we're sitting there. She bought $5 worth for her mom, okay? We're sitting there, and the rate went up, and she got 1 cent, and she goes, oh my gosh, I already made a cent. So remember those first moments. I know that it's easy to get caught up in the Mt. Gox, you know? My friend just lost 550 Bitcoin in Mt. Gox. Like, this is not an easy pill to swallow for a lot of people. Tragedies have already unfolded on Reddit from Mt. Gox. Remember those first moments, because those are the moments that are going to connect you with the people who don't know about it, that don't understand what mining is, don't understand what encryption means. Those are the people that will be using the services that you're making. Remember that as you make it, because ultimately, when we introduce new people that don't understand those are the people that will be buying from you, and those are the people that you want to meet their needs. So speak simply. And I would say, from my experience, the best way to get people involved, and especially women, is show them how to use that, set them up with a wallet. If you don't have time to explain the whole thing to them, simply give them a Satoshi and tell them to go Google it, because now they have possession and they have ownership. And when people have ownership of a simple entity, it makes them want to look into it. I know that I would not be into it if I hadn't been gifted a Bitcoin. So kind of my backstory. My business story is kind of crazy. I won't go in it too deep because it's very new. But what we're doing with Bitcoin Beauties is getting women involved in Bitcoin. So we simply, any woman that we come into contact with, talk to them about Bitcoin, set them up with a wallet, show them how to do it. Currently, what we're doing from an article came out in San Francisco Chronicle last week, we had some amazing donations to our website, and all of those donations immediately get taken back and put into wallets for women to share Bitcoin with their friends. So it's all, we're just trying to make a chain of sharing so more women know about Bitcoin. I'm a part of a couple different other startups that we're working on, kind of in the Ethereum space, which I'm really excited about. And I just think, because I'm not a tech person, and I'm coming from just absolutely loving the Bitcoin protocol, knowing the ability to free people all around the world, it's so important to remember that the innovations that you guys make here in Silicon Valley and all around the world are going to affect each and every single person on this earth. So remember to connect to the people that you love the most, because I can guarantee your mom would be mad if she woke up one day and didn't have any Bitcoin and she knew that you had it for so long. Thank you.